the confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,237,899. The confirmed number of deaths comes to 24,117. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 7,338, with total confirmed deaths at 216. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Leslie Robbins. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 19th. Some big news announced at last night's City Council meeting as Tim Goodrich announced his resignation.
I will miss serving with you and the citizens of this great city. Thank you all for your advice, friendship, dedication, and mentorship over the years. And as I bid farewell, I encourage you to focus on the issues that I cherish, such as making Torrance a hub of technology, supporting smart growth, and environmental sustainability. Torrance has been great to my family and me, and I hope that I contributed to the success of our great city.
Under oral communication, Councilman Goodrich said this would be his last meeting with the council, as he has served the Torrance community for 7 years. The decision to vacate his seat was made to dedicate more time to his family and his business commitments. Goodrich currently serves as chair of the Citizens Development and Enrichment Committee and also serves as a member of the State Legislative Advocacy. He is also the voting delegate for the League of California Cities Los Angeles County Division and previously served as chair of the Strategic Plan Committee. Goodrich's resignation now opens a vacancy on the City Council. The remaining 6-member council can choose to have a special election or appoint a new council member to fill the vacancy. Well, turning to COVID-19 related matters, Torrance Memorial Medical Center is making it a little bit easier to get the COVID-19 vaccine. TMMC is hosting a series of clinics for first-dose COVID-19 vaccines beginning today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. and again next week, Wednesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. The vaccine clinics are free and are being held on TMMC's campus at the Hoffman Health Conference Center located at 3315 Medical Center Drive. Free parking is available in the west parking structure adjacent to the Health Conference Center. Children 12 years and up are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine right now. Clinicians will also be on site to answer any questions parents may have about vaccinating their children against COVID-19. For more information, you can call 310-517-4711 or email covidvaccine@tmmc.com. Los Angeles County health officials are reminding the public to keep their guard up and continue to practice safety measures against the coronavirus due to the ongoing pandemic. Public health officials announced that nearly 56% of residents in the county are still not fully vaccinated. Now, herd immunity can only be reached when a substantial portion of a population has been vaccinated against the disease. The latest data from the county does show progress in vaccine numbers as the percentage increased to 44% of eligible residents who are fully vaccinated, compared to where we were at the beginning of the month, which was at about 37%. From May 7th through the 14th, the county administered 370,000 doses across its vaccination sites, a decrease from 530,000 doses administered 2 weeks ago. While those numbers don't count all the shots given at pharmacies and clinics throughout the county, those providers have also reported a decline. In the coming weeks, the county will focus on offering mobile vaccine clinics to reach as many people as possible. Now, beginning this week, anyone over the age of 12 can get the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, and LA County residents 16 and older can get their shots without booking an appointment. Well, speaking of mobile vaccine clinics, the County of Los Angeles is helping to get as many people vaccinated, especially in large settings. The county is providing mobile vaccine teams to come out to various locations throughout the community, from companies, churches, and large organizations to community centers. All you have to do is sign up by going online and providing more information. You can email questions and contact chs@ph.lacounty.gov. There is a 13-question form you'll need to fill out. This is one of the many initiatives the county has taken to ensure equitable access to their vaccine, whether it's for a church, worksite, senior facility, school, or neighborhood where most members would not be able to get a vaccine otherwise. Well, a new study is confirming what we already know, that working too much can lead to burnout and health issues. Well, the findings in this new study is showing that people around the world are dying from heart disease and stroke because of too much stress and work. The World Health Organization and the International Labor Organization released results from a recent study that surveyed 2,300 participants collected in 194 countries from 2000 to 2016. The study says those working at least 55 hours a week were at a higher risk of dying from heart disease and stroke. In 2016, the data showed 1 in 10 people around the world, or 450 million, worked excessively long hours, leading to 745,000 deaths attributed to heart disease and stroke. The study also found most recorded deaths were among those between 60 and 79. Europe and North America had the lowest occupational disease rates, mostly due to employment protection that limits the number of hours people can work. A WHO official said new analysis also found the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the workforce as people began teleworking, which increased the number of hours worked each day. Evidence showed when some countries went on lockdown, the number of hours worked increased by nearly 10%. Health and occupational safety officials are urging nations to consider the well-being of their population as the world enters a post-COVID recovery period to ensure the recovery measures are not at the expense of the health of their employees. The United Parcel Service is looking to hire a few hundred employees in the Southern California region. UPS announced they're looking to expand their workforce by about 300 people. Jobs include part-time and full-time positions in package handling at the company's local hubs. Pay ranges from $14.50 to $16 an hour, depending on location, shift, and the position. Now, these positions come with benefits, including health care, retirement contributions, and tuition assistance. Through the company's Earn and Learn program, eligible employees who are students can earn up to $25,000 towards college expenses in addition to their hourly pay. UPS has invested close to $670 million in tuition assistance, nearly $30 million a year since the program was established in 1997. UPS says more than 120,000 part-time employees at UPS have gone on to obtain full-time driving positions or into management roles. Applications can be found at upsjobs.com. Well, it looks like it'll be another big jackpot for Friday's Mega Millions drawing as the prize jumped to $515 million. The jackpot has been rolling since it was last won in New York on February 16th. In the game's 19-year history, there have only been 8 jackpots higher than Friday's estimated pot. While there were more than 1 million winning tickets at all different prize levels, no one matched all 5 winning numbers plus the Mega Ball. Now, the cash option for Friday Night Strong is estimated at $346.3 million. The Mega Millions lottery is played in 45 states, plus the District of Columbia and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Torrance Police Department launched a new series of videos today to give the community an inside look on what police officers encounter on a daily basis.
First-hand experiences of your police department as they work tirelessly to protect lives and property. From the action-packed to the mundane and everything in between, we're going to give you a front row seat. Buckle up. Hang on tight. This is Torrance Police in the passenger seat.
The series is called Torrance Police in the Passenger Seat, and host Emmett Miller invites the community to take an inside look at the varying degrees of danger that officers face and hear first-hand experiences from the men and women of the Torrance Police Department as they work tirelessly to protect the community. The footage comes from actual events that were captured on body-worn cameras. The 8-episode series will be released bi-monthly on Wednesdays and can be found on the police department's YouTube and Instagram platforms. Torrance City Council members were back in the chambers last night for a hybrid council meeting. As we mentioned at the top of the hour, news of Councilman Tim Goodrich's resignation. Conversations were also had about limiting the use of leaf blowers in the city, possibly banning gas leaf blowers and gas landscaping equipment in the future, as well as whether or not the city's treasurer position should be changed to become an appointed civil service position. The Community Development Department also presented the 2021 Strategic Plan with a special video presentation by the Strategic Plan Committee to show the collaborative work, dedication, and effort put on by the committee members and city staff. Proclamations were read to celebrate one of the oldest philanthropic organizations in Torrance as the Torrance Women's Club marks their 100th anniversary. May was also proclaimed as Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month in Torrance. Then the Commission on Aging and Community Service announced this year's Older Americans Award recipients, which included 7 well-deserved members of the community, as each winner had their list of accomplishments and contributions read as they were acknowledged. The finance director also held a second public hearing on the fiscal year 2021 to 2023 proposed biennial budget and capital improvement plan. Now you can catch a full replay of the meeting on our channel, on our YouTube page, and on social media. As we near the end of the school year, still in a pandemic, Torrance's students, faculty, and families have proven their resilience and dedication to education. We check in with Torrance Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Tim Stowe to learn more on today's Wellness Wednesday.
It's been going extremely well in spite of the circumstances, or maybe because of the circumstances. The collective effort of everybody here in TUSD, our students, our parents, everybody's pulled together and we have just done tremendous work. We are the largest district in LA County that's open for in-person instruction. We were one of the first, and we've done it safely.
One of the casualties of the COVID-19 crisis was, of course, the closing of our schools for in-person learning. It altered the education system as we knew it. Schools switched to virtual learning, and no one could say when kids could return to the classroom. Well, after almost a year of schools remaining vacant, Torrance Unified School District was able to provide potential roadmaps for returning some students to campuses for in-person learning. It was all based on LA County's coronavirus infection rates. Interim Superintendent Dr. Tim Stowe walked me through the process. Dr. Stowe, let's go back 1 year. Schools closed due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, of course. And now education and schools look understandably different than before. Taking on a phased approach, in December, January, and February, K through second grade students returned for in-person blended learning. And third through fifth grade students returned early March. And 6 through 12. At this point, families that chose to send their children back to school are able to. How did you and your team get to this point?
Well, it really began last spring when we knew we were out likely for the rest of the last school year, and we're looking forward to the 2021 school year. We convened a task force that represented all of our labor partners, parents, teachers, and administrators from every grade level. And that group met weekly and still now meets less than weekly, but still at least once a month to do all the planning and preparations and communication around reopening. The task force in May also branched out into 5 subcommittees that involved instruction, health and safety, human resources, all of the kinds of things that we knew we needed to do in order to bring students back to school safely. I don't think any of us really expected it would be this long. We were planning for an August reopening. It was the first year that our schools were open before Labor Day. And so we really had that target in mind. And as it became more clear that the year was going to start remotely, we did surveys. We knew parents weren't going to want to have their students back on campus for the whole year, some parents. We also knew that some parents would want their students in classrooms when it was safe to do so. And so we asked the parents to opt into either the distance program or the blended program. Distance meaning they would be off campus all year, and the blended, they would come back when it was safe. We had about roughly 2/3 of the parents that surveyed wanted their students on campus, and so they were in the blended program. Communication was huge for us. We had numerous parent Q&As, teacher Q&As. We had almost 50 hours of on-camera time, whether it was school board meetings, special school board meetings, Q&As, just information sessions for parents and staff all over the summer to keep those lines of communication open, as well as numerous written communications to all these groups.
So can you describe for me what school looks like now?
At our elementary schools, parents need to do the screener. We have a screener where students can come on campus only after they've answered certain questions that relate to their daily health screening. And so that's the first line. We want to make sure that, as we have all along, that our schools are safe for students, for staff, for the community. And we're very proud that, having been visited by the Department of Public Health staff, all of our schools were very safe, and in fact, we were recognized by the staff that visited what a great job our folks have done. It's incorporating all the teacher perspective and the custodians and the clerical staff. Everybody has been able to provide input into what it looks like. Just to maybe describe the day in the life of an elementary school student. So they'll arrive at school. Some of the parents will drop them off now that we've been in school a little bit. It's a pretty smooth transition. Some parents choose to walk them to the gate on campus. We'll have someone at the gate taking a temperature. In most cases, students will then come on campus. They've got markings on the ground where the students line up prior to going into class. The classrooms, the desks are all 6 feet apart, and students are able to each have their own basket of materials, pencils, pens, those kinds of things that they use, so that students aren't sharing the learning utensils, if you will. That's been something that parents have been very pleased with. Teachers have been very pleased. We require masks of all students at all times. And at our elementary schools, many people thought that the elementary students wouldn't be able to keep their masks on, but I visited near every school, and the students are doing just fine with regard to that. 6 through 12 is a little more complicated just because of the way master schedules work at the secondary level. In the elementary schools, we have groups in the AM and the PM. So half of the class will come in the AM from 9 to 11:30, and then there's a break for lunch, and then half will come from 12:30 to 3. And so At the middle and high school, when students have 6 different classes they need to attend, they're not going to be able to do that. So we have a group called the Instructional Committee, and it's a representative of teachers and administrators from each of our schools at the secondary level. And they have put together different models that will comply with Department of Public Health guidelines, as well as provide some consistency in the way that students have been learning all year. And that is a block schedule where students on one day will attend periods 1, 3, and 5, and then another day they'll attend periods 2, 4, and 6. Wednesdays are a fully virtual online day where students learn from home and they see all of their teachers on that day. So 4 days a week are what we call block schedule, and then that 1 day a week the students see all of their teachers.
How have students taken to virtual learning from where you're sitting?
I think they've done amazing. The students, the teachers, we have at the elementary level, we have a team of resource teachers that work based out of the district office that have developed curriculum for all of the grades and all of the subjects at the elementary level. So teachers are utilizing some of those modules. Some are just doing it all on their own. We've provided whatever resources that teachers had requested over the summer. We had a committee review all those. A lot of people say that students aren't learning in this environment. They are learning. In fact, I have 2 students of my own that are here in school in Torrance Unified, and undoubtedly their experience has been very positive. Do we think students learn better in person and that's a more enjoyable experience? Yes. I don't believe that you're going to find anyone that's going to argue that. But at the same time, parents have been more involved in their learning out of necessity, but I think that's also been a benefit for them as well. And learning has really become not just something that happens at school, but it's really a community-wide effort to ensure that our students are maintaining the high quality of education that we expect and that we deliver here in Torrance Unified.
You mentioned your children who are students in the Torrance district. How have you been handling it, not just as the superintendent, but as a father?
I am thankful that they're demonstrating and really have grown academically, but also in the responsibility of taking care of their business and the work that they know they need to do. It's the teachers that I'm so impressed with, and the fact that they reach out, they're updating grades on a regular basis, they're keeping students in, whether it be before, during lunch, or after school, and having special study sessions and tutorial time for students that need it. You know, I think really everybody's risen to the occasion.
So, Dr. Stowe, obviously educators now are able to get vaccinated. Where do you stand with your teachers in this process?
We have been working very hard for a couple of months to make sure this has happened. We've needed to align with partners in the community, and so we partnered with the Torrance Fire Department, the hospital Little Company Mary through Providence. Those 2 community partners have been very influential in assisting along those lines of getting our folks vaccinated. And beyond that, we have thousands of our folks are going out and getting vaccinations elsewhere at different locations in the community. So we have roughly 3,700 employees that we have reached out to and wanted to make sure that they have an opportunity, if they so choose, to get a vaccination. And I think we are about at the end of folks that want to do it. So we've given over 1,000, but that means there's a lot more going out there on their own and getting it.
We are now a year into this, and there does seem to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Teachers are getting vaccinated. A modified sports season has begun with some competitions. Meals continue to be provided for students, whether they are receiving in-person or online instruction. The district has accomplished so much in the span of a year to keep student learning and well-being at the forefront. As we enter the last weeks of the school year, how do you envision keeping this trajectory going, ending the school year on a positive note?
Well, first, we're not letting our guard down, and that's something that we continue to emphasize. But that doesn't mean the pandemic is over, and health and safety is tantamount to the work that we're doing. So cleaning protocols, masks, distancing, all of those protocols that we know work and that we've seen work are continuing to be emphasized. It's great for those students that are able to participate in some of the activities on campus and those that are coming back. We also know that it's been quite a challenge for many students. So we're making sure that we're supporting students. Social and emotional health is so important to that work, and counselors and social workers that we have that are reaching out to students and families to make sure that we support, whether they're transitioning back to school or still in that distance program. We're still pressing forward with making sure that students are learning and that they're getting the support that they need. As we enter the spring and see more of the health data, and as the Department of Public Health allows us to maybe have some other events on campus, I know people are now thinking of graduation and other kinds of end-of-year transitions from one level to the next. That is something that we will be working on very closely with the County Office of Education as well as the Department of Public Health to really celebrate the students and what they've accomplished, especially those that are seniors are going to be going on and leaving our doors onto great things. We want to make sure that we honor them and recognize them in whatever way that we can that celebrates their time, and we do that in a safe manner.
Thanks so much to Dr. Stowe for spending time with us. Hopefully the next conversation we will have, it will be in person. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. A local church in Torrance is offering another big donation in the name of giving and hopes to offer the city more resources to help keep the community safe during the ongoing pandemic. The leadership at Bread of Life Church, located on Lomita Boulevard, contacted Torrance Council member George Chen to offer 5 pallets of hand sanitizer as a gift to the city. Wow. Now, this isn't their first donation to the city. Bread of Life has also donated hundreds of thousands of face masks during the pandemic to be used by Torrance's first responders, as well as given to local senior facilities in Torrance as well. What an awesome gesture to show how Torrance community members truly care for one another. We love to hear these kinds of stories of how Torrance cares. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that is our update for COVID-19 Today. We'll see you here tomorrow as Bella Shaw brings you the latest. Please be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.